2022 Lexus LC500 Convertible Review. What's new? Minor suspension adjustments designed to improve handling. Part of the first LC500 generation introduced for 2018. How does the LC500 Convertible drive? The LC500 Convertible is more about feel and experience and less about sheer performance. For the class, raw acceleration and braking figures are somewhat disappointing. But when you're actually behind the wheel, those figures are easy to forgive. The 5.0-liter V8 engine is a real standout, with smooth linear power all the way to ridline and one of the best-sounding exhaust notes today. It's a real joy to rev out. The steering lacks feel but is quick, direct and firm without feeling heavy. The suspension is tuned to provide comfort rather than sport, but it's adequately responsive. Lexus improved on the LC's brake feel, making it easy to control and come to a smooth stop. The transmission is mostly issue-free, though we did encounter the occasional hiccup in low-speed traffic. Glancing at the spec sheet for the 2022 Lexus LC500 Convertible might leave you feeling a tad underwhelmed. For the six-figure Summit commands, you might expect more than 471 horsepower, or more than 4 cubic feet of storage space. You might reasonably expect a usable rear seat, or even a less clever touchpad-style tech interface. The Lexus LC500 Convertible manages to take everything we love about the standard C-Coupe and offer open-sky motoring without much sacrifice. It's not the quickest or most powerful car in its class, but a silky smooth V8 and competent handling make it one of the most entertaining. It's a beauty, too, both inside and out, with some lovely details and flair. Cargo space is extremely limited, and we're frustrated by some of the controls and menus, but the LC Convertible is so charming in other areas that it's easy to overlook its flaws. How comfortable is the LC500 Convertible? On-road comfort is where the LC500 Convertible really shines. The ride quality is smooth and refined, soaking up bumps without feeling overly soft or bouncy. On particularly rough roads, it doesn't feel quite as buttoned down as the LC Coupe, but it's not far off. The seats in the LC are fantastic, with well-shaped seat backs that are supportive without feeling confining. They are well ventilated, too, and even have a small warm air vent below the headrests to keep your neck warm when the top is down. The LC is quiet too. It's easy to have a conversation with the top up or down. Plus, you get to listen to its wonderful V8. The climate control system works well, though the vents are not ideally placed and require some time to aim just right. How's the tech? Lexus has improved the infotainment system slightly with the addition of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but it uses the cumbersome touchpad interface and menus that hide some often used controls. The system itself looks dated, too, especially compared to the latest ones found in the LC's rivals. Voice commands work fine. While they are not as robust as some of the competition, the LC can understand natural language and can interface with the media, radio, navigation, and climate control system. Lexus includes a decent suite of standard driver aids such as traffic adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist with lane departure warning. We'd like a surround view camera system, but the combo of parking sensors with a standard backup camera works decently. How's the interior? The LC Convertible's interior is much the same as the LC Coupe's. Despite the low ride height and long doors, getting in and out is fairly easy thanks to a seat that's not overly bolstered and just about the right height. The power-adjustable steering wheel offers a good deal of adjustment and moves out of the way when the car's off. The driving position is excellent, with well-placed controls and a good view of the gauges and the road ahead. The rear window is narrow, but it's no worse than what's in other convertibles in this class. Some drivers might find the interior to be tight, but the doors are shaped in a way that provides plenty of elbow room. The LC's awkward controls and on-screen menu layout are the most significant liabilities. It's just generally unintuitive, The controls for the heated seats, for example, are inconveniently hidden in a submenu. The touchpad interface is cumbersome at best. Is the LC500 convertible a good value? The LC500 convertible commands a premium over the coupe, but that's generally true for any convertible with a coupe variant. The list of standard features is generous. You also get excellent build quality. Just about every surface is covered with leather, and most of the switchgear is metal or feels like metal. Lexus really focused on making sure the convertible is just as solid as the coupe. Sure, you can find more performance for the price elsewhere, but as pure luxury goes, it's hard to find a better deal in this class. The LC's 4-year/50,000-mile basic warranty and 6-year/70,000-mile powertrain warranty are above average for the class. Lexus includes 4 years of roadside assistance and a year of free maintenance. How's the storage? We don't expect stylish convertibles like this to offer much in the way of storage. Even with that lowered expectation, the LC convertible is quite disappointing. The cargo space is barely large enough for a few bags, and it's shallow. You really have to be careful to keep groceries from being smashed. The cabin isn't any better. Other than the small center console, the LC lacks any real place to put small items such as sunglasses or your phone. The door pockets are tight, as are the cup holders. The only real saving grace is the rear seat. Given its small size, it is better used for cargo than for people anyway. How's the fuel economy? The EPA estimates the LC convertible's fuel economy at 18 mpg combined. 15 city/25 highway, 1 mpg lower than the coupe. That's just about average for Vate-powered competitors. Our car managed an impressive 25.8 mpg on our 115-mile standardized test route, though conditions with weather and traffic were highly favorable during that drive. In general, we think you'll have little trouble matching the EPA numbers. Looks are subjective, but we think the LC500 convertible is one of the best-looking cars on the road today. It packs flair without being loud or flashy, and it has tons of little touches like mirrored taillights and the checkered pattern on the door that show that Lexus really cares about the details. It's fun to drive too, even though it's somewhat slow for the class. The Vate is a real sweetheart, with an exhaust note that sings like a chorus in perfect harmony. You just want to keep revving it out to ridline. It's engaging enough to be fun on a winding road, yet it's comfortable cruising on the highway or rolling around town. Few automakers manage to put together such a charming and entertaining package. The LC500 convertible only comes in a single well-equipped trim. A pricey optional touring package adds 21-inch forged wheels, upgraded leather seats, and a premium audio system, among other items. It's tempting, but we'd just opt for the audio system on its own. For those in cold climates, the all-weather package might be worth it for the heated steering wheel. The 2022 Lexus LC500 convertible comes in a single trim level. Power comes from a 5.0-liter Vate, 471 horsepower, 398 lb-ft of torque paired with a 10-speed automatic that drives the rear wheels. Like the LC Coupe, the convertible is nominally a 4-passenger car. Realistically, the back seat is small and inhospitable to humans. Pros: cabin design and interior materials are extraordinary, effective at being both sporty and comfortable. Generous list of standard features. Convertible top doesn't dampen the LC's quiet refinement. Cons: touchpad controller is frustrating to use. The trunk won't hold much cargo, and interior storage space is limited. Not as customizable as other high sport coupes.